Hi, and welcome to the Emergency Medical Technician Training Academy program overview with the Calhoun Area Career Center and Kellogg Community College. My name is Clark Imus, and I am the EMS Program Coordinator and faculty member here at KCC. I wanted to take some time to go over all the benefits and great things that we have to share about our program here at the CACC and give you an idea of what it's like to be an EMT and what the program has to offer. Let's go ahead and get started. KCC has been around for a very long time, probably since before most of you were actually even born. KCC is a well-respected training program that's been around since 1980. We were the beginnings of the EMS system here in Calhoun County, specifically Battle Creek, and we were able to set a very high standard for EMS education and response in the local region. We have both state and national accreditation for our EMS programs. That is through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, EMS and Trauma Preparedness Bureau, along with the Committee on Accreditation for Allied Health Programs and the Committee on Accreditation for the EMS profession. We also hold many certifications for training certification cards, including things through the American Heart Association, from basic life support all the way through advanced life support and specializing in pediatrics. We also have the capability to do tactical emergency combat care through our National Association of EMT Training Center requirement as well. We have excellent state-of-the-art facilities and training equipment, and I would love to take you on a virtual tour of our sim lab today so you can see that technology in action. Last but not least, our excellent faculty and staff really make the difference in our education here at KCC. KCC sets itself apart from other training institutions across the state. As a leader, we have instructors that are actively working in the field, responding to emergency calls daily, up to including individuals who have as high of a degree as master's or a PhD. Our program model is saving lives through education, and we take that very seriously here at KCC. We always ask, do you have what it takes to be able to save a life? Complete your training at KCC, and you'll be able to answer yes to that question. I want to show you a short video here through YouTube. EMS is a very fast-paced career, and the training that it requires clearly has to be at the highest opportunity for success. We want to make sure that our students are adequately prepared and the knowledge they need, along with the skills and application to be entry-level ready for their career in EMS. So what does the training offer to students who take our course through the Career Center? Well, first, it offers 18.25 college credits at no cost to the student. That is a huge amount. It also allows for students to earn a certificate in basic emergency medical technician from the college. It also allows for you to obtain your high school credit while you complete your career training. You're able to expedite your career training while still in high school. We also are going to certify you in basic life support healthcare provider CPR. We're going to certify you in emergency driver's training. We actually are able to use a simulated ambulance simulator that can recreate lifelike experiences, including lights and siren and emergency response, along with the ability to actually drive a real ambulance and have to complete a closed course evaluation. In addition to that, you're going to have the capability to do a number of clinical rotations, up to including 48 or more hours of clinical time. This includes things like ambulance rotations, emergency rooms, and then even locations of as far as nursing care. The idea behind clinical opportunities, it really plays a large role in your success and your future. One of the very interesting things about EMS is that EMS trains under what is referred to as the medical model. The medical model is the same model and used by physicians as far as med school training. Nursing uses a nursing model, which is slightly different than that of the medical model. If you're interested in getting into med school or maybe becoming a physician's assistant, you're going to need to have some patient contact experiences in order to qualify for that application process. The nice thing about our EMT program is you can get a minimum of 48 hours, but have the ability to pick up many more hours of clinical based on available opportunities. Last but not least is as you work to complete your training over the school year, by the end, if successful completion is earned, you will have the ability to test for the National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians. That is a national certification which will allow for you to work as an emergency medical technician throughout the United States. It also allows for you to earn a Michigan Department of Health and Human Services EMS provider license at the basic EMT level, allowing for you to gain employment upon graduation. We also know that there's a huge demand for EMS providers, not only because of the current pandemic conditions, but prior to that, there has been a significant shortage of EMS practitioners across the state and throughout the country. The U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics project that EMT and paramedic job growth will increase as much as 15% between 2016 and 2026. It's only 5 years away. EMT and paramedic wage is approximately $33,000 per year, or approximately $16.50 per hour. Again, depending on the location and method in which you work, you can again increase that level of pay. There's a number of employment opportunities directly available after completion of the program upon obtaining your national certification and license. These include working for an ambulance service as an EMT, working as an emergency room technician or a floor technician at a hospital. Maybe it's going to be working in a nursing home or in some type of home care. Could be a dialysis center, fire department, police department, or even security work. All of these training opportunities that you will participate in provide a stepping stone into the paramedic academy and completion of the EMS associate's degree. Most of the employers, the full-time employers that are in the area, will actually sponsor students to complete their paramedic training anywhere up to $10,000 to $12,000 in sponsorship. So what are some important facts that you as a potential student need to know about our EMT program? Well, first, the program is open to both juniors and seniors. If you're serious about EMS and are interested in taking the next step to complete your associate degree or enter to the paramedic program, oftentimes we encourage you to take EMT during your junior year of high school. But that's not necessarily a requirement. It can be done in both junior or senior year. We also need to make sure that we have the proper prerequisites for you to be successful as you travel through the course. These include our next-gen AccuPlacer, which requires a reading score of 244 or at least a grade of C in the Transitional Reading Class 55 or TSRE 55. You must be 18 years old to hold an EMS license. However, you are now allowed to be 17 and earn your national certificate. That's a new requirement as of the last year. So age is not a huge deal as far as earning your certification. However, licensure in the state of Michigan requires you to be 18. Again, once you have that certification, as soon as you hit 18, you can apply to receive, that emergency medical technician license. We also want to make sure that students complete all aspects of the program to be eligible for certification. Anytime that there's a failure to pass the program coursework, it may result in inability for you not only to not be eligible for your national certification or licensure, but it can affect your high school grade and graduation as well. I want to reiterate that this is a college level course. At 18 and a quarter college credits, that is a lot to do over 2 semesters. There are also another component that is important for those clinical rotations, and that includes proper immunizations. Our clinical contracts that we have with our local agencies and hospitals require a number of components that need to be addressed prior to starting those rotations. These include things such as a flu shot, tuberculosis test, and other components that are required for clinical rotations. We also know that immunizations must be completed prior to your start of the clinical component. That's extremely important, that we need to have that done prior to sending you out. We also need you to complete a drug screen and background check that's completed. That's done at no cost to the student, but it does require you to go to the sheriff's department and to an occupational health to be able to complete that drug test and fingerprinting. We know that transportation oftentimes can be an issue for some of our high school students, and we recognize that. Transportation to and from the Career Center and CACC will be provided. However, transportation to and from clinical locations or driving requirements is not provided by either the Career Center or CACC. Driver's license and government IDs are strongly encouraged. However, they are not a requirement for the program any longer. We do allow for students to be able to train and drive our emergency ambulance simulator along with our actual ambulance only on the main campus property. It allows for us to be able to train in the closed cone course along with scenario aspects around campus. We also are going to provide you with a uniform. The uniform is required. I'm a strong believer, and we must practice as we will perform in the field. We must recreate and simulate battlefield conditions to properly prepare you for the industry that you're stepping into. So we want to make sure that you look the part. We provide students with a class t-shirt and a uniform polo shirt. However, additional uniform requirements include things like a belt, blue pants, black closed-toed shoes, and then there are additional options such as a stethoscope or pen light, trauma scissors, and a multitude of things. The KCC also has a number of funds to be able to provide students who are having a difficult time getting those requirements of the uniform. There are resources to help complete that. Last but not least, we know that technology is extremely important to the success of all of our students. And with our program accreditation, we do require a significant amount of electronic documentation and electronic testing. That is, again, in order to simulate the testing process and what the field conditions would be once you graduate. So a computer or tablet is needed for lecture, lab, and clinical rotations, and the Career Center is kind enough to be able to provide you with a Chromebook. You can also use your mobile device or other personal computers if you so have them. Last but not least, we have to talk about privacy, FERPA. FERPA protects privacy of students and their educational records. This includes any individual who is even under the age of 18, which means in order for an instructor or professor to provide your parents or others, guardians with information, we do have to have them sign a release or have your permission as the student. This is unique to our program because of the dual enrollment process as we share the program with the Career Center and KCC. We'll provide additional information regarding the specifics of FERPA, immunizations, records, all the components that you'll need for the program during the program orientation prior to the start of the class. We definitely encourage you to bring your parents or any other individuals that would be helpful to you or would need to know more about the program to assist in your success. Oftentimes people ask, what is the right type of student for this type of program? Or what is the right type of individual for the EMS industry? Well, there are a number of EMS professional behavior attributes that we have to make sure are in place in order for you to be successful in the industry. Examples of these professional behaviors include, but are by no means limited to, integrity, self-motivation, self-confidence, time management, respect, careful delivery of services, empathy, personal hygiene and appearance, communications, teamwork and diplomacy, and being a patient advocate. These obviously only scrape the surface of what a true professional is, but these are some of the things that we would expect from our students right from the beginning. Again, it's extremely important that you recognize that the industry that you're considering is a high-paced, fast, demanding job that takes a certain individual that has the capabilities to do it. But if you're willing to put in the time, you can be successful. One of the things that I always tell students as we give tours of our simulation lab and of our building and talk about our program is I say that it's okay for you to kill patients. I say that because you can kill patients in our sim lab because it's a simulated environment. We want you to get comfortable making mistakes. Success is not a clear line. Success it consists of ups and downs along the way, and your success and failures will help you develop the skills that are necessary for you to have the skill set upon graduation. So never be afraid to fail. It's important that you take those steps. And we can actually recreate those circumstances, real life like serious situations during our simulation experiences. What would the program and the class actually look like? Well, your fall semester, or the beginning of your school year, let's start with the course EMT 130, or Basic EMT 1. This is 8.75 credits, and it is a lecture lab combination course. We generally meet 3 days a week here at KCC, and 2 to 3 days a week at the Career Center, depending on the week. We also have you complete your emergency driving course, which is 1 credit, and that includes lecture, laboratory experiences, along with simulations. In the spring semester, you're going to continue to add to your didactic lecture material and your skill material. That is again done through EMT 133, Basic EMT 2. That's another 8.75 credits of lecture, lab, and simulation. And additionally, we have you complete your clinical internship. That is a course that exists of 0.75 credits, and it consists of some laboratory experiences along with multiple clinical rotations to earn that 40 plus hours, 48 plus hours of clinical time. These things are important in order to earn the certificate, to earn your high school credit, to be able to work towards your licensure as an emergency medical technician. All these requirements must be completed and be completed successfully. We do a lot with hands-on training. We know that students don't like to learn through death by PowerPoint, so we want to make sure that we recreate as many of the experiences that we can to aid in your learning process. These include multiple scenarios in lab, high-fidelity medical simulation, along with interactive tools, case studies, and a number of other components that create a very fun and vibrant learning experience. You never know. In EMS, a call can drop at any moment. In a class, we treat it just the same. At any moment in time, your instructor could call an emergency scenario and will require your immediate attention to that emergency. Again, we must practice like we perform. There's a number of other components that you can utilize here to look at program information. Our website is available at kellogg.edu/EMS. We'll take you to our website and provides a lot of information on all the resources that the program can offer to students. We also have a virtual simulation tour. We'll take a look at that here in a second, but it's a great way to show off our lab. There's a number of EMS program resources and student resources on our website, including our EMS handbook and the latest version of that. And you can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/KCCEMS. Again, it's a great way to experience and see what the classroom environment is like prior to stepping in. Last but not least, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to me via email at imasc@kellogg.edu or reach out to any one of our faculty members or staff members with your questions. Or you may go right through the Career Center as well, too. I serve as the EMS Program Coordinator. Mark Melcott serves as our EMS Clinical Coordinator. Larry Wagner serves as our EMS Full-Time Faculty. Jamie Roberts is our Department Assistant. And our Director for Public Safety is Rob Miller. I encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions or thoughts. I'm happy to make sure that we actively engage you and provide you with the resources that you need, both in the classroom and in getting answers to your questions prior to signing up. Last but not least, I'd like for us to take a look at our sim lab. Let's take a look at our sim lab through the virtual tour. You can easily access this link through our website or through the virtual portal that you had today with the Career Center. As you can see, it's very important for us in EMS to simulate all of the environments in which we operate. These include our ambulance, which is actually inside the classroom. We also have an emergency room, along with an apartment. You can see that in the apartment, we're able to recreate all the things that are necessary. Small, closed, confined spaces, including everything from a bathroom with working shower and toilet to a fully functional living room with multiple cameras for us to be able to record. One of the things that we like to do is we love to be able to transport our patients to the emergency room. And again, you pick your patient up at the house, you load them into your ambulance, you transport to the hospital, and then upon arrival to the hospital, you turn over care to the receiving physician. And again, we use lots of technology to make this happen. When you're training, we don't actually have you in the room with us. We actually are in another separate control room where we are able to watch and monitor what you do from a distance. Our sim lab has the capability to zoom in on specific actions as close up as to be able to watch the second hand on your watch tick. We can easily be able to assess what you're doing and not be in the room to make you be able to think independently and on your own. We have a pediatric room that we utilize as well. Again, it allows for us to train specifically in pediatrics. And then obviously we have our training ambulance, which allows for us to be able to transport and simulate these types of environments. Here's an example of our control room. Again, you can see that the amount of technology that goes into this $1.6 million lab. All these areas are the things that we utilize to be able to interact with students from a distance. We have our living room, which also includes a working bathroom. We have our actual ambulance itself, which you can kind of see on the inside of the ambulance. It's kind of hard to see some of the stuff that's in here. And then we have our emergency room as well. So as we drop patients off, we can easily begin to utilize this facility. Again, it's set up to recreate all these different environments. And last but not least is our pediatric room. Again, it allows for us to be able to train on specific pediatric patients. I hope this video was helpful for you to get an idea of what you're looking at utilizing here at KCC through our partnership with the Calhoun Area Career Center. I look forward to answering any questions that you might have, and please feel free to reach out or even stop by for a tour at the college. Again, it's very important to remember what our program motto is, and that is saving lives through education. Your education really can train you to make a difference in the lives of others. So I encourage you to check out our resources and to sign up for the EMT program at the Career Center.